Yo, what's up? My name's Victor Pat. Welcome back to another episode of Haste, and this is my blind reaction to the Shard 4 boss. I have not played it yet. I have not seen it yet. I assume it's going to be similar to one of the previous. Yup. Ooh, I'm already in a really... I'm lagging a ton. I don't know why. Or what's happening with that. I've not had any... Hello? My game just destroyed... What the fuck? I have not had any lag issues so far. I'm gonna let it just sit and process for a sec. I guess start launching the game right into a boss fight has not agreed with it for some reason. Let's try this again and let it give it a sec and just see how it goes. There we go. Okay, no lag, which is good. Allow me to properly dodge the things that I need to, because whew, yeah, this is just like the second shard boss. This is shard number 4, but obviously just ramped up difficulty, which I'm so here for. Also, I mean, I really like this boss design. I think this is my favorite. I mean, I've seen the jumpers and I've seen these so far. Oh my god, getting back to the inside here. Okay, we're looking pretty good. We dodged that one. That's gonna hit me. I'm not gonna be able to dodge it as well. I'm gonna hit my right click item there. I forget what it is. I had to take a quick sec break from this run. We're doing okay enough here. Yeah, I really like this boss design. As I was saying, I feel like it's my favorite one so far. Wow, so you might be able to notice that last ring actually had... Am I already down to the last hit? I might be able to beat this then first try. We will see. I'm gonna try to speed through here as quick as possible, just trying to... Yeah, as you can see, the bottom part of the ring actually has if you hit that bottom part, you take damage, which is not the case for most of the other rings. Usually you're allowed to actually hit that bottom part. Is the boss done? Beautiful. Wow, I can't believe I was not expecting to first try that. Hell yeah. Oh, that's shard 5. I lost count. Holy shit. Wait, what? Oh yeah, wow. This game has gotten so much easier post the nerfs. The nerfs just really changed things. And I mean, it makes sense. I think there's like 9 or 10 total shards. It makes sense that I'm not... it's okay that I'm able to, you know, first try the boss. I think sometimes, like, dude, there were times where I was playing the second, third shard bosses for 2 hours at a time, right? Or those runs over and over again until I was able to finally win. That's crazy. Wow. Huh. Well, I was expecting to like fail and then replay that, and that would be the episode, but I guess we can go jump over to that's my blind reaction of the 5 shard boss. But now we can just complete that and head over to shard 3. I've been really enjoying replaying the shards on camera for content, as well as it allows me to practice. And I also just really like... I was talking to my wife earlier, actually, on the way to Taco Bell for lunch, as you do. And something I really enjoy about Haste is your ability to play this game in different ways and different varieties, depending on how you're feeling and depending on what you want to do today. It's actually something I talk about kind of relentlessly when it comes to games and my ability to enjoy them long term. Let's head over to shard number 3, which I think is... Where is it going to be at? This is shard number 2 over here. I think shard number 3 is also in the grasslands, if I recall correctly, but... The ability to play a game in a different way, depending on how you're feeling that day, is very fucking important. Extremely crucial. I feel this way with a lot of MMOs, with games like Old School RuneScape, with games like PokeMMO. There are certain games where, depending on how you're feeling, you can play it in a different way. Minecraft is kind of a decent example. If you're feeling like mining, you can do that. If you're like crafting, you can do that. If you're feeling high, you know, action, octane, you can try the new trial chambers. You can, you know, there's tons of ways to play certain games. In Old School RuneScape, you can go skilling, and you can do that like very chill and very like AFK if you want to, or you could go do bossing or high intense PVM or intense skilling. Like, there's multiple ways to play those types of games depending on how you're feeling, which I think is a crucial thing for a game to have like long-term dedicated success or like a really intense player base, because sometimes I want to play a certain game, but like a game like Haste, I don't always have the energy to play like the newest, most updated map, right? So if I'm a little tired, I don't feel like I can play to my highest capacity on Haste. What I can do is I can go replay maps. I can go replay the old maps. I can go relax. I can go grind anti-sparks. I can go grind for certain achievements that aren't crazy, like taxing. Like, there's different ways I can play the game. I can go play the old maps and intensely go for and play so I can play the old maps, or I can play the new map that I'm at, and I can play both of those in 2 different ways. I could play the new map under the presumption that I'm probably not going to beat it, and I'm just grinding it to learn the new mechanics, because any sort of extra time put in is helping me like learn those mechanics, learn the geography of the maps, get slowly better and better. I can do that, or I can play it intensely and really try to win and really try to go for high speed and stuff like that. So there's two different ways on the new maps. And on old maps, I could go play the old maps for achievements. I went back and I grinded, for example, Shard 1 for like 3 hours straight to get the achievement where you don't buy any perks, or you don't, spend any of the currency at all. I didn't spend any of the currency at all in a run. I think it was like 4% of players had done that so far, which is awesome. That took a while to achieve, but going back and being able to intensely grind the old maps for that was really fun. Or just intensely grinding if you want to have a beer or relax, or just I'm playing in the living room on my laptop while watching movies or TV shows with my wife. I can just throw on Haste and grind the old maps just for anti-sparks. I don't have to take them seriously. So any game that allows the player to play the game in an intense way when they feel up to it, when they're want something mechanically taxing or something challenging, or they could play it in a chill way for less benefits, for less what's the word, like progress, I think is a really, really good sign of long-term game design and having a really long-term player base. Because a lot of times people get off work, they get off their 9 to 5 and they come home and they don't always want to do something super mechanically intense. Sometimes they do because their job was really boring that day, or their job was really slow, so they actually want something a little more spicy to pick themselves up, right? That's always nice. Sometimes we, like, you know, we are a little too chill, and it can make us more sluggish and make us more what's the word? Not lazy, but there's another word. It makes us, you know, sluggish and slow sometimes if we don't stimulate our brains enough. We don't come home and play a mechanical game. But sometimes you're fucking overstimulated. Sometimes you're exhausted. You want to come home and just casually play Haste. Run the old maps. Like, as you can see here, I'm not really constantly spamming spacebar. I'm not trying to go down the fastest possible. I'm just kind of riding the waves, taking the air, having fun. I'm going to dodge that a little bit. But, like, you can play the game in different ways, and that's super, super, super crucial and allows people to play your game no matter what mood you're in, which is pivotal. I did recently get the achievement as well for completing a shard with only S ranks on the map, and that was done while replaying Shard 1 for fun, and also while pretty casually in the living room. So it was cool to be able to get stuff like that. Like, speaking of playing the game in different ways, it lets you shoot for those different goals or challenges you might not normally immediately go for. It also allows me to, like, try out more of these maps, the Dark Core maps, going back and playing the shards after I've already completed them, encouraging me to kind of play through these more difficult maps, because I'm allowed to risk it, right? I'm not desperately trying to beat the shard to continue the storyline for the first time. I'm just kind of replaying them for fun. You can grind anti-sparks, and just mechanically, I mean, the game's amazing, right? So it just feels so good to go back and play these maps. But it also, yeah, once again, encouraging me to actually engage with the more difficult maps. It does give you better rewards, but usually I wouldn't engage with them a lot of the time if I'm just trying to beat a map for the first time for these storyline runs. So allowing myself to get more comfortable with those maps in a safer environment, and then get better rewards for them down the line when I actually might need them in a run, or I'm kind of in like a risky run where I'm low on lives, and that's kind of a lost run. I might be able to take on that Dark Core map and actually save it by taking a risky play, but getting a really, really good item from completing the map. Oh, this is so cool. This is a legendary item that I haven't seen yet, and I've wanted to get for a long time. So this destroys all obstacles for 5 seconds. It's like literally every I don't know. I'm excited to see what this looks like. I have not activated this. So if you haven't noticed, I'm already almost at the end of the shard, but shard 3 is kind of like an upgraded shard 1, obviously. I think they do a lot of mechanic stacking, like I talked about in a previous episode. A lot of mechanic stacking. Where they kind of go, shard 1 is like a nice little grassy terrain to get you introduced. Shard 2 is a desert terrain to get you introduced to different terrains and different visuals. Shard 3, it goes back to the grassy style, but as you can see, they introduce a lot. I mean, they make it way more complicated, add a lot more lava elements and other elements in the grassy terrain, as well as they introduced these, I think these are introduced in this, the little like the portals that make you go a bit faster. There's so many different obstacles we see for the first time, you know, in this. I want to go ahead and get in front of a big, I'm going to go ahead and press 1 here and see what this looks like. It gets rid of all obstacles. What doesn't really, does it let me just pass through them? That didn't really do what I thought it was going to do. I'm gonna be super honest. I thought it was gonna like visually get rid of everything. Maybe that would just be too taxing on like GPUs or something. Maybe it just like makes them irrelevant to me. Can I press like I or something, or see what my item, read my item in more detail? The way it reads, I thought it was going to, yeah, like destroy. I thought I was gonna like make all the trees disappear and stuff. Maybe that was silly, but I thought that would have looked super sick. But instead, it just seemed to have this like immunity effect around me. Maybe it like removed them if I get close to them. That was not what I expected, but got to test it somehow. This is why we do runs like this. This is what we talked about. We go back to previous shards to test other mechanics, and there's so many things to learn in this game. It makes a ton of sense. Do I want to do this? I'm just gonna do nothing on this random event. We're almost at the end there. Even though, I mean, I have the lives, I could spare it. This is something I've completed before. I do really like, I think, playing the jumper bosses. It's really boring. I just love both bosses. I was gonna say, ooh, which boss do I really like more? I talked about liking the sand one so much. I think I do prefer the sand one, especially design-wise. But I like that. I just simply like that the jumper encourages you to get air, and I like that. Versus, which is also very, very different from the sand boss. The sand bosses encourage you to stay low to the ground and stay close, at least from what in my opinion, like close to the ground and on the inside like part of the boss, whereas the jumper, I feel like, encourages you to get that high ground, get that air, so you can jump over the waves and the upcoming. So this is one of the things that's added, this giant pillar of demise. There we go. We're gonna push right through that pretty easily. I've done this boss a few times now, but I feel pretty comfortable in my ability to clear it. As I say that, I'm trolling. Let's see if I can. What if I fucked that up in every possible way, and now I missed damaging him. Well, that's okay. As I was like, oh yeah, you know, this boss should be actually pretty easy for like a guy like myself. You know, I've been practicing. Absolute deserved karma. I think I used all my cooldowns there as well instinctively. Oh my god, please let me get. I'm gonna take the damage. Whatever, bro. We just tank it. I'm doing it for content. That's what always the excuse. You just you make the mistakes on purpose. We gotta make it a close call, you know. Clearly this boss is too easy for me, as you can visually tell. So I've got to make it seem a lot closer than it actually is for content. I have to just remember to stay close to the ground and then get air before the wave. So where's the wave at? There's the wave. Okay, we're gonna get air here. Perfect. Okay, like 2 seconds of pre-planning. That's all it takes. Here's a nice juicy hit on this guy. Boom, bam. There you go. I think I just accidentally activated the thing. So it did dissolve. Yeah, I accidentally activated my one hotkey. It dissolved the things near me, which is pretty interesting. I'm going to head over to the right. Oh, this is actually awkward. Huh. I actually am... Oh, I'm actually dead. Oh my goodness. I'm bad at the game. Just kidding, you guys. I was actually only pretending to be bad. There we go. Took care of him. That is Shard 3 defeated on camera. Hopefully all the tips. I don't think I gave any tips and tricks this episode, I'll be honest. If you're enjoying the series, let me know in the comments. Like the video if you liked it. Dislike if you didn't. That's okay. Subscribe for more Haste videos, and I'll see you guys later. Peace, Reno. Hey, what's up? Retro Pat here, and I want to say a quick big thank you to everybody whose name is listed here, because it means you went above and beyond and supported me via the Patreon, which allows me to put more time, effort, and resources into this channel. Thank you so much, and have a great day.